Hello friends! You know me, I'm always interested in new and exciting ways of customizing clothing and accessories and making everything just a little bit more unique, individual, perhaps even solve the age-old problem of people wanting game-specific symbols on stuff. That's why I'm super excited to say that Algolaser has sent me their new laser engraving machine, the Pixie. The Pixie is supposed to be a super easy to use introductory model for laser engraving, which I have never done before, so that's probably a good thing. Anyway, this machine is supposed to be quick and easy to get to grips with, so let's not waste any time and get right into it. The Pixie comes in a couple of different strengths of laser. I have the lowest power one, which is fine for just engraving, but will take a longer time to cut through most materials. Although it is also less likely to accidentally set anything on fire if I choose the wrong setting. I'm completely new to laser engraving, but compared to the big expensive laser cutting machines I have window shopped, this is very compact. I also knew from looking up other laser cutters that safety is very important. I'm pleased to say that overall the Pixie makes it very hard to choose the wrong settings and set things on fire. It's a very intuitive and helpful interface, and the safety features work well. It is worth noting that the Pixie has a full enclosure to shield the laser and won't run if this isn't fully down, but like any laser engraver, you'll still need to worry about fumes. That's just inevitable, you are burning off the top layer of whatever material. The exhaust pipe is a little short for my purposes, the ventilation is not my house's strong point, but I could easily attach an extension. That was good enough for my tests, but I still stuck to mostly natural materials, and long term, I think a better ventilation situation will pay off for me. Setup was extremely easy. I plugged it in, updated the firmware as is traditional, and I was basically ready to go. The touchscreen menu is really intuitive and you can select pictures, type out text, or freehand draw right on the machine itself. It'll also give you in-progress information while it's working on a project. The only manual adjustment you need to do is adjusting the focal length, which the Pixie comes with a handy little tool for doing just that. It's very easy. You can adjust the strength and speed of the laser to your liking, but the Pixie also has a lot of preset options built in. So if you're a complete beginner like me, you can just pick your material and then choose the effect that fits your project best. I do recommend doing a test piece to be sure, but this demystifies a lot of the process and lets you jump straight in. I had great fun testing out the basics on wood, MDF and metal, and was really impressed with the clarity and level of detail. With some fiddling with the settings, I could also do some very precise cutting. But once I had a handle on the interface, I was especially intrigued by the inbuilt fabric settings. I mostly work in textiles, so this is very exciting. I had some old jeans hanging around, so I decided to start with the denim setting. I picked out one of the sample pictures that had a nice mix of lines and block shading, went through the steps, messed around with the placement until the trace lined up with the piece of denim I'd put on the bed, and set it going. All in, this took about 15 minutes, and yeah, on the heavier sections it's managed to burn almost completely through. Denim comes in a lot of different weights, and the stuff I have is on the thinner side, not to mention worn, so I think the preset option is for heavier denim. I fiddled around with a couple of the settings, turning the intensity and the print quality down a little, and tried again. I was much happier with this result. It's not as crisp as I'd like, but it's not affected the integrity of the fabric. One thing I have found is that getting images onto the Pixie is not the easiest. You can plug it into a computer and use a specific laser engraving software, or I think you could plug in a storage device directly, but it only has a USB-C port, which slightly limits your options. The SD card does not appear to be removable. Luckily, there is a third option, which is to use the Algolaser app on a phone. I grabbed some royalty-free images that were on brand and tried to replicate the settings I'd used previously. One downside of the app is that you don't get the inbuilt preset options for different materials, but I found it pretty easy to just check what the Pixie thought was the best setting for any material and then copy that into the app. Otherwise, the process was very much the same. And yeah, this happened. I double checked my settings and I'd accidentally turned the print quality back up to the highest setting. That one's on me. I was out of test denim patches, so instead of cutting more and not expecting much, I decided to try the same image again with just the default leather settings, and look how good this came out! It's so clear and precise, and this was my first test piece. I even tried a different colour of leather and a different style of image, this time a map from Free Fantasy Maps, and again it came out so well. The lines look so good on the natural grain of the leather. So there you go, that's the Pixie. I definitely still have a lot to learn about laser engraving and laser cutting, but the machine is so user-friendly that it's taken a lot of fear factor out of the whole process. I feel like I can just jump in and try things, and if they don't work out, I have a better idea of what I'm doing next time. Now, it is very definitely an entry-level machine. It's quite small if you want to cut out loads of pieces of really thick wood. That's going to take a really long time. But if you're doing stuff like that, I figure you already know you want a bigger, more technical machine rather than the cute, easy one for beginners. Meanwhile, I'm already having loads of ideas of how I could use my powers for evil. I have a scale mail armor project that I have been sort of working on for a really long time. I always wanted to add some detail to the scales, but there's so many of them and that felt intimidating. This, on the other hand, this feels more achievable when it'll do a whole bunch of scales exactly the same every single time and a couple of minutes a shot instead of however long it would take me to hand engrave thick leather. Not to mention, I was really taken by the cool little metal cards and how easy they were to engrave with something. I'm certain I can make some kind of LARP prop out of those. Whether I put QR codes on them or whether it's like a more robust version of a lammy. Lots of ideas. Lots of projects gently percolating inside of my brain. Anyway, if you'd like to pick yourself up one of these, they are out now. Down in the description box you can find a link. It is an affiliate link, but there is also a discount code for 10% off. Thank you so much to Algolaser for sending me the Pixie to review and experiment with. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to keep the YouTube gods happy. In particular, if there are any fun projects I could do with this that I haven't already thought of, let me know. And down in the description box, as well as the links to get your own one of these, you'll find a bunch of links to follow me on other platforms and a link to my Ko-fi page where you can make a one-off or recurring donation to support the channel, or you can become a channel member right here on YouTube, which gets you early access to all of my videos and some fun little extras like a lizard next to your name and cat emojis. I'm gonna go bask in the power of being able to just hand people memes in real life, so dream big, and I'll see you next time.